Monday morning. As we enter this second week of Advent, we're once again focusing on the beautiful hope of the return of the Lord. And as a believer, that is the hope. It's the beautiful gift of what we have in relationship with Jesus Christ. And that's in knowing that this world is not our home, that we are just sojourners and pilgrims traveling through, and that our home is with Him, and that one day we're going to see Him face to face. Isaiah prophesied not just the fact that He would be born, but also the fact that He would come and judge the earth. And He had prophesied this in Isaiah 11. He said, "There shall come forth a shoot from the stump of Jesse, and a branch from his roots shall bear fruit," meaning Jesus would come from the line of Jesse, Jesse was the father of King David. "And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord. And his delight shall be in the fear of the Lord. He shall not judge by what eyes see, or decide disputes by what ears hear." Remember, God doesn't see the way we see. He looks at the heart. He knows the innermost thoughts of man. He knows the things you never speak, but the things your heart believes. "But with righteousness he shall judge the poor, and decide with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips he shall kill the wicked." So I know it's hard to understand that how could this loving God destroy anyone? And that's where a lot of people get hung up. But I think there's truth to be found in 2 Peter chapter 3, and let's look at it. Beginning with verse 8, I believe. "But do not overlook this one fact, beloved, that with the Lord 1 day is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are as a day. The Lord is not slow to fulfill his promise, as some count slowness." So this is a promise that we just read in Isaiah 11. He will come with righteousness, and he will judge the wicked. And he's not being slow to do that because he's not going to keep his promise. He is. It's just with the Lord, his time's a little different than ours. A day is like 1,000 years. 1,000 years is like a day. But the reason he is slow, the reason that he waits, is because he's patient toward us. Not wanting anyone, not wishing that anyone should perish, but that all should reach repentance. And man made the choice that he would move in his self-sufficiency and take the very thing that God had told him not to take, because it was a boundary of love. Because love does that, right? Love has boundaries on it, and God had a boundary of love for their protection. But they wanted to do it their own way. And God let them, just like he lets us. And when we choose to do it our own way, when we choose to live out of self-sufficiency, and we resist the love of God, we're the ones making the choice for a life separate of him, which there's no greater definition of hell than that one. And so the reason that it hasn't happened yet, as wicked as it all seems now, the reason he hasn't come back yet and judged us according to the ways that we should be judged is because he's so patient to us, and he doesn't want anyone to perish. He doesn't want one person to be lost. And so he waits, and then he waits, and then he waits again. He said, "But the day of the Lord will come, and it will come like a thief, and then the heavens will pass away with a roar, and the heavenly bodies will be burned up and dissolved, and the earth and the works that are done on it will be exposed. Since all these things are thus to be dissolved, what sort of people ought you to be in lives of holiness and godliness, waiting for and hastening the coming of the day of God, because of which the heavens will be set on fire and dissolved, and the heavenly bodies will melt as they burn. But according to his promise, we are waiting for new heavens and a new earth in which righteousness dwells." We have the promised hope of eternity. One day this world will pass away. God will come and judge us based on the decision we have made about him. And for those of us who have chosen him, this Advent season is a reminder of the hope that we have that awaits. That this world does not have the last word. But Jesus, Emmanuel, the one who came to set us free, his love does. And of that it brings a glorious hope that we will spend eternity with him. That is the beauty of this Advent season. May we celebrate that blessed hope this week.